Hey, what's up guys? And yeah, it's a boy Anime King 3. I was wondering for a long while, why haven't I done a what if? When Naruto was a Saiyan? I find it really strange considering that I watched Dragon Ball Z, and I like Goku and the other characters. So I find it really strange why I haven't done a what if like this before. So yeah, I've been planning this for some time now, and I'm gonna be giving it to you. Part 1 of What If Naruto Was the Ultimate Saiyan. Yes guys, you heard that right. I'm gonna be doing What If Naruto Was a Saiyan today on Anime King 3. And as you guys know, every What If on this channel is mine. I create all What If on Anime King 3 so there is no link at all. And I create some of them over on Anime King 2 and Anime King. Not all of them though over those channels. But on Anime King 3, they're all mine. And yes, you heard that correctly, I have 3 channels, Anime King, Anime King 2, Anime King 3. Which I post What If on every single day for you guys to enjoy. And also, I post a brand new episode, well, brand new series to be exact, over on Anime King. What if Naruto was a prodigy with an unknown bloodline? Go ahead and check it out guys, you're gonna enjoy. And yeah, remember for new to go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support, and yeah, without further ado, what do you say we begin this new series? Start the intro. We begin this episode in a vast, empty space. A strange white pod was drifting through the sky. Suddenly, a wormhole opened up in front of the pod. Space was a strange place. Strange anomalies happening. And right now, an anomaly was happening. A strange baby with a strange shape here. His hair was spiky, but there was a comb over in the center. And there was spikes in different direction, strand of spikes. A few hair coming down into his face. Given that he was so young, it was strange for him to have so much hair. As a strange anomaly, the wormhole sucked him inside, and he was gone from this universe completely. Meanwhile, at the Elemental Nation, a woman was on her porch. As she was waiting for her husband to come home, this woman was none other than the red hot habanero, Kushina Uzumaki. She was a rather powerful ninja in her time. She hasn't really been doing much ninja stuff lately because she was settling down with the Hokage of the village. The Hokage was none other than Minato Namikaze, her husband. Minato was the Hokage of the village, known as Yellow Flash. He was a rather powerful individual. The both of them had known each other from the academy, and they grew up together. And they became best friends first before. The both of them realized there was something else there than friendship. There was love. Kushina wanted to start a family. She was no longer an active shinobi as she wanted to start a family with Minato. She was so excited about it. To be a mother. It was exciting. At that very moment, she looked up in the sky as she saw the stars. And she saw a shooting star. But it was strangely coming down towards her. It was coming down. Kushina leaped back into the house. Boom! Everything exploded. Dust and debris kicked up. As trees were blown away, the small lake was covered in dust and debris. The ground was rooted up, trees were rooted from the earth. Kushina coughed several times as she was inside. A lot of dust and debris got in. She didn't close the door in time. She just jumped back, her instincts kicking in. After all, she was a trained ninja. In an instant, several Anbus flashed her aid. As the man himself, Minato, arrived. Kushina! Kushina, he said. There was worry in his tone as he saw that strange ball of fire coming to his village, and it landed right in his home. I'm here. As he rushed her aid to see that he breathed a sigh of relief she was okay. As he helped her up, What happened, he said. I don't know. Hokage-sama. He heard from the outside as he made his way. As Minato saw a strange pod. Time skip. As three powerful men. Luckily, one of them was in the village because he was always out doing research. And that was Jiraiya of the Sannin. As he was in the village at the moment. They were currently standing behind a window, watching Kushina play with a small child. Kushina managed to get diapers, as she put it on him, but she had to cut a hole in it because he had a tail. Strange, he had a tail. So this was not to attack, said Jiraiya. I'm not sure, said Minato. From what the analytic department said, that thing that he was in was a pod that brought him here. Inuichi is confused as well. He went through his mind. He saw some people. There was a man with a similar shape to his hair. Jiraiya giggled at that a bit. What's so funny, Sensei? Asked Minato. Well, his hair is quite strange. Peculiar, if I must say, said Jiraiya as he'd never seen a hair shape like that before. Well, judging from the man here, I can guess that he's probably his father. And there was also a woman there with black hair as well. I believe that they were his parents. They had on strange armor. That is what Inuichi was able to see in his memories. They placed him in that strange pod, I'm not sure why. And Inuichi said that he saw them send him through what he thinks is space. Wait, this kid's an alien? Said Jiraiya. As Harrison chuckled a bit at that. The way Jiraiya said it. I'm not joking, Sensei, he said. Is this kid an alien? As Harrison looked towards Minato, who also seemed unsure. As none of them knew what to really say. On the other hand though, Kushina was loving the boy. He landed in their backyard. She didn't know why, but she believed that this was a sign. As she looked towards Minato, Minato saw that devious grin on her face. She was planning something. Time skip. Kushina had refused to give up the boy to the orphanage after all. They didn't know anything about him and he was new. He was different. Why would they give him up to the orphanage? He landed in their backyard, they should be the one to raise him. And sometime he just couldn't go up against Kushina. When she was firmly set on certain things, she will not change her mind. As for the members of the council who saw the attack, or their shinobi saw it, they had no idea what to really say about it. They had him checked up at the hospital, the doctors, the Hyugas, there was nothing wrong with him. Except for having a tail, they had no idea why he had a tail. But the man and woman that Inuichi saw in the memories had tails, but they had them wrapped around their waists. Kushina didn't know why, but she found it rather cute. He was like a cute little monkey. And he was also so adorable. Although sometimes he can be a bit rude, like dragging her hair, a bit hard. Strangely though he was strong, ridiculously so. But she always reprimanded him and told him not to do that. But whenever he looked like he was about to cry, she always gave out, as she just loved him too much. As she and Minato adopted him. No one knew what to think or say about this because they didn't know who exactly the boy was. There was nothing around the elemental nation. Minato decided to tell them to keep this to themselves, as they didn't want this news spreading, as people would think of him as an anomaly. So the few council members that knew about it kept to themselves. And just like that, 2 years passed. As Kushina found out that she was pregnant. They had named the boy Naruto Namikaze. Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. He was a lovable boy. It seems that Kushina's love and her overall happiness washed over on him, as his face changed from when he was younger. Mostly he always cried and always scowled for a baby that was rather strange, but now it was just laughter. He seemed to have absorbed her happiness. And yet he was still so strong even as a young infant. Being a stay-at-home mom, Kushina never had a reason to go outside at night. So she never brought Naruto with her like late in the night for him to experience the full moon. And that was a really good thing. She found out that she was pregnant. And when she went to the hospital, she found out that it was a girl. She was beyond happy. She always wanted 2 kids. As she had told Naruto about this. For his age, he was rather aware of things. And it was strange. He knew things around him. He was able to talk, not that much, but he could talk. As Minato would sit down with him every now and then and talk to him. And he responded and he talked to him. But his appetite was one thing. They had to have a lot of food because he eat a lot. Like really a lot. And he was just 2 years old. They could only imagine his appetite when he was older. As Kushina was so delighted, the day finally came for her to give birth to her baby girl. At the moment, Naruto was sleeping in his bed. Kakashi Hatake, one of Minato's students, was currently watching over Naruto. As Naruto was promised by his mother and father when they returned, they would have his baby sister. He was so overjoyed to hear it. As Naruto woke up, his hair never changing shape, his tail wiggling a bit. As he scratched his back looking confused, before he yawned. As he slowly pulled himself out of his small bed, as he landed on his tiny feet, and started to walk. His mother and father was not home yet, as he looked around the house. It was nighttime. As he moved towards the window, the moment he did, there was a roar, causing him to cover his ears. The next thing he knew, someone flashed in front of him. As he looked up to see the white-haired man that was talking to his father most of the time. As you remember his name, Kakata, he said. Before Naruto could get a response, Kakashi just grabbed him and broke through the window and leaped away. Kakashi was blown out of the air by a massive shockwave as a house. Naruto watched as his home was obliterated. He heard screams and chaos all around him. As he didn't know what was going on, Kakashi dropped as he rolled with Naruto, using his body as a shield to protect Naruto at all times. As Naruto's tail was twitching as he was afraid. He looked around confused as he saw people running for their life. He heard people screaming in fear. When he looked up, it was then that he saw it. His eyes went wide. There was a massive nine-tailed beast destroying the village. It was right in the village someone had summoned it here. He saw several ninjas over his head flying past him. As they were making their way towards the beast, including Hiruzen was making his way. As he turned to see Kakashi pulling out a piece of broken debris out of his leg, a piece of wood had stabbed him right in the leg, as he ripped it out. But that gave Naruto the time to look up in the sky. His eyes seeing something that he was supposed not to see. His heartbeat started to increase. Naruto said Kakashi, as he reached out to the boy to grab his arm, but he had to let go, as Naruto's arm had enlarged. As Naruto's fangs started to get larger, his tail started to get more bushy and fluffy. His eyes snapped. Kakashi stepped back in fear as he watched the boy enlarge. Kakashi had to leap away as Naruto transformed into a massive gorilla. He transformed into a monkey. As he roared, people that were close enough, especially ninjas, were blown away. The fox and the monkey turned towards each other. As everything else was puny and small, the monkey Naruto moved. As the nine-tailed fox roared as it right the bit down to his neck. But the monkey had workable arms that grabbed onto the fox and pushed him back. The two creatures started a fight, turning Konoha into their personal playground. Kakashi stood on a nearby roof as Hiruzen landed beside him with several other ninjas, as Hiruzen had saw him with Naruto when he had passed by thinking that he was getting Naruto to safety. Kakashi, where's Naruto? He... Speak up, Kakashi, said Hiruzen. As Kakashi pointed, still shocked by what he just saw. Wait. As Hiruzen looked at the tail, several thoughts popped through his head. He has a tail. That's strange. Wait, why does he have a tail? The conversation between him, Minato, Kushina, and Jiraiya several times. The tale that none of the doctors could explain. The two beasts were destroying the area around them. Hiruzen summoned Enma, as Enma saw the situation as he quickly transformed into staff form. As Hiruzen quickly leaped forward, he extended Enma as it slammed into the monkey's back. As the monkey slammed into the nine tails, the both of them were pushed straight out of the village into the outskirts. As Hiruzen rushed off, he found Minato moments later. It seems that Minato had been fighting someone. Hiruzen, what is that? As Minato was just now seeing the giant monkey. That's Naruto. Minato blinked. That's my son? What do you mean that's Naruto? He said. I don't know. Somehow he just turned into whatever that is. We always wonder why he has a tail. It seems that there is a reason. Is he helping? Said Minato confused. I don't think that he's in a state of mind to help. As the two creatures fought, the Nine Tails pinned down the monkey form Naruto. But he opened his mouth and slammed a beam right into Nine Tails' stomach, throwing him back. But the tails of the Nine Tails that hold on to his leg pulled him along with him as they started to trample the land of fire. Minato and Hiruzen stood there shocked as they didn't know what to do. Minato's mind was working a mile a second as he went over everything that he knew about his adoptive son. The tail, he said, as Hiruzen looked towards him. It was always an anomaly with him. What if that is a cause? What if by removing it, we revert him back to normal? How do you know that will work? I don't, but I have to trust my gut on this one. I don't even know if we can seal the monkey away, and I don't want to end up accidentally seal my son away either. Hiruzen nodded. It was a chance and they were hoping that it would work. Do you have a plan for Nine Tails? Asked Hiruzen, as a sad look came on Minato's face. Minato, what are you planning? Said Hiruzen. The Hokage has to protect his village at any means necessary, even if it includes risking his own life. The Nine Tails started to charge a Biju bomb, but the monkey grabbed his tail and twisted him, throwing him as he crashed in the ground as the ball dissipated. I don't have time. I need you to stop my son. Remove his tail. That is the only thing I can think of that will probably work right now. What about the Nine Tails? I'll handle it. Just help my son, please, said Minato, as Hiruzen nodded as he moved, seeing that the beasts were getting rather close back to the village. They moved towards the beasts as several of them combined several massive water attacks that slammed right into the two beasts just to draw their attention. Hiruzen used Aim and slammed it right into the Nine Tails' stomach as it was knocked away. Several deadly jutsus were launched in front of the beasts, stopping the monkey from going in that direction as they fought it from going there, while Minato summoned Gamabunta and fought the Nine Tails. Things happened really quickly. Hiruzen luckily got time to move in close and slice the tail off. He breathed a sigh of relief when he noticed Naruto shrinking back down to his normal size, without any clothes. Hiruzen quickly rushed forward, but when he arrived, there was a barrier already set up. Minato, he screamed as he couldn't get inside. He banged on the barrier, but he couldn't get inside no matter what. As he knew what Minato was doing, he was gonna use his life to seal away the Nine Tails. Kushina was there and their other kid, as Naruto was fast asleep in Hiruzen's arms. Minato was risking his life for the village as all of the ninjas stood there, unable to get in. Naruto started to wake back up after a while as he blinked. Once he woke up, he felt himself being carried. As he felt himself being carried by someone, the barrier had fell. Minato had died instantly, as his soul was taken by the Shinigami. As for his mother, Naruto, Mom? Said Naruto confused as he saw his mother. She was crying and there was blood coming from her mouth. I'm glad I got to see you again, she said. I'm glad I'm able to talk to you before. Medics! Hiruzen cried out. But it was too late. Even if the medics came, she was gonna die. There was a gaping hole in her stomach, and not to mention the cable was just extracted from her. As Naruto saw, there was a small child. She had red hair, and she was in a crib. This is your little sister, Mito Uzumaki Namikaze. I want you to take care of her, okay? What about you? Are you okay? He asked, confused at the predicament, as he was not used to death. He was a child. He didn't know what happened. The last thing he remembered was in the house, waking up out of his bed by the strange feeling. We will see each other again, but I hope not for a very long time. Live a wonderful life. As she rested a hand on his cheek. Take care, my sweet boy. And always watch out for your sister. As she planted a kiss on his forehead. As she just fell. She fell in his lap. Her head gently rested on his lap. Mom! Mom! He shook her awake. Mom! He screamed, but she would not get up no matter what. as he screamed out loud. Harrison was able to move fast as he grabbed the crib and moved. The Anvus were not able to move as fast as Harrison despite his age. They were blown away as a tremendous amount of blue energy exploded from Naruto's body. Trees around him was decimated. The ground quaked. The sky seemed to light up bright. The people of Konoha stopped what they were doing as they looked up to the sky. Some people took this as a sign that everything will be alright as a bright light seemed to illuminate the entire sky, bringing them day in the night time. It died down as Naruto fell right in his mother unconscious. As he passed out completely, Harrison came over to the 2-year-old child as he was going to be 3 years old soon enough, as he was still not wearing anything. As Harrison picked him up in his arm as he still held on to the basket, as a small tear ran down Harrison's face, for the both of them blew so much in one night. As he released a sigh, time skip. 6 years later, a small child with red hair was currently sitting down at a table as she was reading some books. She was just 6 years old. She had a smile on her face as she had a few snacks on the table as well as she read the books. Her hair had grown unnaturally fast as it reached down into her back. She was wearing a green dress with blue polka dots on it. As she flipped the page of the book, looking quite confused as she flipped back. I wonder, she said to herself. As she got up out of the chair, she placed her hand together in her arm seal as a pulse of chakra slowly started to release from her body. She molded chakra in her system as she brought it up towards her throat. As she opened her mouth, she winced in pain as she felt her lips burn. As she spat, coughing out ashes. Guess I'm not quite there yet, she said. As she returned back towards the book, the burning sensation vanishing quickly. As she healed rather fast, she looked towards her palm as she turned her hand over before raising it. As her hand started to glow, a light shade of blue, she smacked it on the decks as the decks cracked a bit, as that made her smile. As she returned back towards the book, ignoring the broken decks, footsteps could be heard as someone came inside. As it was none other than Hiruzen Sarutobi, who had taken back at the mantle as the third Hokage once again. Mito-chan, he said, didn't I tell you not to practice inside the house, especially not in a library after the last incident? As she heard the hard edge to his tone, she turned towards him with a cute, innocent face. What are you talking about, JJ? I felt the chakra pulse coming from down here. Oh, that, I was just trying something. He looked towards a broken table as he sighed. The girl was a handful. It has been 6 years since the sealing of the Kyuubi. Minato had taken Naruto to a lot of social events with other clan heads. Some of them taking their older children with them. And Kushina was there as mother. Not to mention his name was Naruto Uzumaki no Mikaze. So many people knew. Hiruzen had made a choice. There was a lot of destruction. Not to mention when Naruto had transformed. There was a lot of chaos. Many people thought though that the monkey was trying to help them. They hated the fox though. Hated the fox. So when they found out that Mito contained the Nine-Tails Fox inside of her, they made a choice right there and then. Him along with the council. They revealed that she was the daughter of Minato and Kushina, their Hokage and their Red Hot Habanero, and her hair was a dead giveaway. Some of the people still did not trust her, that she could contain that massive beast. They were afraid. But most people saw her as hope. Hope that they would get through this. And even though their Hokage fall, they still had two of his heirs left behind. And that was Naruto and Mito. So they were loved by most of the people in the village. But some of them did not like Mito one bit. They hated her for what she had inside of her, not her in particular, as they loved their Hokage. Hiruzen knew that there would be a backlash of him releasing that statement about her being Minato's daughter. People already know that Minato was Naruto's father. Adopted or not, he was still his father. And Minato had loved the boy like his own, because he was his father and he was his son to him. But now he was gone. Hiruzen had taken both of the kids. Yes, he had brought them toward the Sarutobi compound. He had hired maids, look after them when you were younger, because he was still busy being the Hokage. And there was many things to be done. He hired special tutors, maids, trainers, to watch over and protect them at always. Knowing that if the information was leaked to the entire world, many of Minato's enemies would rise. Until the kids were strong enough to protect themselves, they need to be protected at all time. That is why, like any other clan heirs, they were protected, kept away from certain situation the village had rebuilt in the past 6 years. But what they could not get back was the man and woman they lost that night, which many people are still angry about. But still, they will get through it. The will of fire shall never fall, and Hiruzen 100% believe that they will get through this. As for the troublesome goofball right here, Mito, she was a lovable child, but she was just, well, she loved doing dangerous things that sometimes get her in trouble. And when asked why she did those things, she said that it was fun. She was a prankster at heart, just like her mother. And when it comes towards her study, she was brilliant. Kushina was a rather smart woman, adapting to certain arts rather quickly. And Minato knowledge was insane. For studies and politics, it seems that Mito got both of their minds combined into one. The girl was smart. She was able to unlock her chakra at 4 years old. She was able to mold chakra at 5. She was able to practice weaker jutsus right now as she was 6 years old. Well, she was told never to do it inside once again, because she almost burned down the house. He looked around. "Where's your brother?" "He's outside, training. As usual," she said. Hiruzen made his way. As he arrived to the back of the yard where the training ground was, and there he was. Hiruzen watched as Naruto rocket from one of the trees. As he literally denked it as he moved, he lashed out his leg and kicked a tree right in half. He picked up said tree and threw it up in the air. As he raised his hand and blasted to oblivion, it was completely obliterated. Hiruzen still didn't understand Naruto's abilities. Naruto didn't have chakra, not even a speck of chakra. Instead, he had something that they called ki. Ki was used by monks. It was rare though. They were able to tap into the vital essence of the energy around them. That was not particularly chakra. It might sound like chakra, but it was not chakra. Everyone had ki inside their body, but it was immensely difficult to use, as it was a rare and lost art that people would never think about because, well, people didn't know how to use it. Hiruzen had a few screws about it though. Naruto had released his ki when he had tried to awaken his chakra. He had digged for something inside of him, and he brought out this violent energy that nearly tore the house apart. The boy was strong. He was able to capitalize on the ki and bring it out into form of blasts, just like how he just eradicates that piece of log. It was his ki. As Naruto moved, literally creating small dent in the ground, his speed was ridiculous. As he stopped and smiled, beating his old record, he was getting faster. "Naruto, don't you think that is enough?" As Naruto slowly turned his head towards the old man. He was all sweaty. He wasn't wearing a shirt. Naruto's physique had changed rapidly, given the fact that he worked out almost every single day. He seemed to be obsessed with training. Well, he had capitalized on this because he didn't have any chakra. He felt like he wasn't going to protect his sister, like he couldn't be a ninja to protect her at all. After all, his mother had asked him to protect her. He still remembers his mother's words till this day, and he still hurt to lose his mother like that. So he would train himself to death to get stronger so that he would protect his sister, as he would train constantly. And he changed his physique quite quickly, as he had shredded muscles. And he was just 8 years old. A well-toned six-pack. It was strange. He wasn't that short, but he was short. Well, he was just 8 years old. Harrison was glad his tail hadn't regrown. A possibility of that happening that popped into his head. And they couldn't have that happening again. For most of his life, he had Naruto watch intensely to make sure that nothing out of the ordinary would happen. But his tail never regrew, and he never turned back into that ape. Harrison would not tell Naruto that he was the one that also caused some of the village destruction, as he had told Naruto what his sister possessed. What happened to his parents at night? Harrison still did not know why the Night Kills was released. Minato never told him. There wasn't in time. Probably something went faulty with the seal or something, but he never knew. But despite that Naruto did not care, he loved his sister anyways. As Naruto made his way, "You see that?" he said as he looked up towards Harrison. "I'm getting faster." "I see, my boy." And more destructive, Harrison says, he looked over the training field. That was a mess. As Naruto scratched the back of his head. "Oh, sorry about that," he said. Harrison sighed. "You must be hungry. Your sister as well. She has been studying non-stop." As Naruto stepped past Harrison into the house, as he walked over, "You know, studying all the time would rot your brain." As Mito scoffed at that, "You mean, not studying will cause you to be stupid? And you don't really study, big brother, so are you stupid?" she asks. "No, what kind of question is that?" said Naruto. "Oh, I'm merely asking," she said, with a small giggle. As Naruto ruffled her hair, she scowled at him as he knew that she didn't like that. As she straightened back her hair, "Come on, we're gonna get something to eat." She sniffed. "Not until you take a shower. You stink." "What?" As Naruto sniffed himself. "Oh, you're right," he said. "Be back soon," as he made his way off. She simply went back to her reading as she saw the Hokage. "Hey, JJ, would you mind coming over here for a while?" she said. As Harrison came over, today was a slow day at the office, so he decided to see what the kids were up to. What is it, Mito-chan?" "Well, I was wondering. This. The second form for wind manipulation. Can you..." "No," he said. She whined. "Why not?" "I already told you. You're not even in the academy yet. You need to relax. Pushing yourself so hard. There's no point. But I'm starting the academy in a few weeks. Why can't I learn this yet?" "Mito, do you know how many kids your age are able to walk on water and already walk up trees, and not to mention know the basics of several techniques regarding wind and fire?" She shook her head. "Yes, that's right, you don't know because it's incredibly rare. Kids usually focus on playing and goofing off. Your brother loves to train, but at least he has fun, and he always has to force you to play with him. So, you are done for the day," he says. He closed the book. She whined once again. "But I wasn't finished. You have a lot of time to study, but for now, enjoy your youth while you're a kid. Trust me, you will miss it." As Harrison cracked his back a bit. "Oh, you mean because you're old?" "Hey, I'm not that old," he said. As Mito held her mouth, so she wouldn't laugh at him. "I'm sorry, Gigi, but you're really old." As she burst out laughing, as Harrison's eye just twitched. Kids, showing him no respect, but he still smiled. After a while, Naruto came down. "Finally stopped studying, huh?" said Naruto. "Next time, you come with me and we do some actual physical training." As Mito rubbed her arms. "The last time I did that, I was sore all night," she said. "So you might want to take it a bit easy on me," she said. "If you don't put in the work, how would you expect to get the results?" said Naruto. As he took her hand. "I'm a big girl now. You know I can walk by myself, right?" "I know," said Naruto. "But you're still my little sister. Even when you're 100, you'll still be my little sister." She sighed, but she still held on to his hand. "I'll be at the academy in a couple of weeks. But you won't be in the same class as me. What if I don't make any friends?" "Who wouldn't want to be friends with you?" said Naruto. "You're the most lovable, kindest person I know." "You're just saying that because you have to," she said. "And you love me." "No, everyone knows that," said Naruto. "You're sweet, adorable, and you're really cute. I bet all the guys in the academy are gonna see you and fall down on their knees declaring their love for you. Really? She said. Of course, said Naruto. You just wait and see. As a smile came back to her face. Alright, I'm not so worried anymore. As they arrived towards Ichiraka Ramen, the moment Toki saw them, I'll get to work, he said, as he made his way around the back, as I am chocolate that. Naruto, me too, she said, the smile on her face. I'll get to work as well, as Hiruzen chuckled as he sat down with them. You know, big brother, you should really take it easy on eating. I'm surprised that you're not fat. Because by now you should be as big as a house. It's because of all the exercise that he does, said Hiruzen. He burns off the fat rather quickly. Yeah, he does, but he eats like a pig. Hey, come on, I'm right here, said Naruto. Well, is the lie, brother? She asks. Guess not, said Naruto. But still, at least show your brother some respect. I am your big brother, you know that, right? But I do respect you. I'm just saying that you eat like a pig. As Naruto sighed. Fine, I'll let you get away with that one. Come on, Piggy, said Mito. Don't be sad. As Naruto started to smile. But it wasn't a normal smile. I'm sorry, she said. Knowing her brother could be rather prankful at some times. And his pranks are rather humiliating. I didn't mean it. It's rather brave of you to mock me when you're coming to the academy in a couple of weeks, said Naruto. Her eyes widened. Don't you dare, she said. As Toki then came back with a tray. On that tray there was several bowls of ramen. Ah, the first batch, said Naruto. As Toki gulped once again to get back to work. As he knew that Naruto made the first batch and it was the first batch. There had to be at least several more batches to go before he was full. Time skip. As Naruto stood in the training ground of the academy, a sensei, Miyumi, was there. Miyumi had short black hair. There was a scar on his cheek, as he was wearing the standard Chunin uniform, as Miyumi had a clipboard in his hand. Alright, he said. Neji Hyuga and Rimuru Kurama. Neji strolled up towards the field, with this arrogance that he had when he walked, like everyone else was beneath him. Rimuru was a short boy. He was from the Kurama clan that was known for their genjutsu. But this was a bad matchup given Neji Byakugan. But the boy wasn't a bad fighter. Alright, said Miyumi, the both of you ready? Sensei, you should just make him give up right now and declare me the winner. As Miyumi sighed. This again, Neji. I've told you before, it doesn't matter, Sensei. Fate has already declared me the winner. Him and his idiotic fate's the voice. As everyone turned their head towards Naruto. Fate this, fate that. Let's get the match started already, said Naruto. As the kids in the class looked towards Neji. Yeah, come on, let's get the match started. Naruto was really not afraid to speak what was on his mind, as he did not really hold back much. Naruto-kun, we already know who's gonna win this one. But maybe Rimuru has increased his passion and youth from the couple of times that they fought before, and he will now win this one. Come on, Lee, said Naruto. Do you really believe that Rimuru would win? Sadly, no, said Lee. Lee, Rock Lee to be exact, was Naruto's best friend. Considering that the both of them were unable to use chakra, they had that in common, and they trained the most out of everyone else. Big words coming from someone who doesn't even have the ability to become a shinobi, said Neji, as Naruto scoffed at that. I can still kick your ass all over this training field though. Given that you'd never fought me before, that seemed rather impossible for you to know. Well, what's the point in arguing with someone who doesn't have a proper brain set? Are you calling me stupid? You white-eye freak, said Naruto. Naruto, that's enough, his sensei said. Neji, you too. You two are not the one fighting here. I don't get why the both of you are so unyouthful to each other, said Lee. You don't understand it, Lee, because you're just too nice to everyone, but Neji is a real jackass. The fight did not last for too long, as Neji once again proved that he was too powerful with his Ryugen. But in reality, Naruto and Neji never fought before. Their names never come up together. It was the sensei's fault. He was saving it. Both boys hadn't reached their final years, They were nowhere near their peak, not even an inch near there yet. But both boys were powerful in their own right. Neji was a master with a Byakugan already at a young age. His Jayugen style was flawless. But Naruto's speed and strength and reaction time was something else. He was probably the strongest in the class. Close second was Rock Lee. But in style and fighting, Neji had this flawless movement on his feet because of his family style fighting. The teacher was just waiting until both of them reached the final years to see the both of them in a one-on-one action, giving it what they got. That would be the spectacle. So he has not brought up the notion yet for the both of them to fight. Time skip. As Naruto was sitting down on Minto's bed, as she was telling him about her day, when they found out that my dad was a fourth Hokage, all of them were so shocked. As they all asked me what was it like to have a father who was a Hokage. But I had to tell them that I never got to know him. Then they all felt sorry for me. I don't like when they do that. I understand that brings sadness, but still. I want them to see me as me, not as the Hokage's daughter that passed. But still, after that, we all talk. I got to make a lot of friends. And you were wrong, big brother, about the Hyugas being stuck up. I met a girl, her name is Hinata Hyuga, she's shy, but she's rather kind and sweet. I'm gonna help her stop being shy. And not to mention I met Sasuke Uchiha as well. You remember that woman that said that she knew her mother, and she said that she had a son my age. Why didn't we ever go over to her house to meet her son? I guess we didn't have the time, said Naruto. But Naruto knew that something was wrong. As Hiruzen told him that they could not go. There was some bad blood between the Uchihas and some. He didn't really know why. He wondered if it had something to do with the fox inside Minto's stomach. If that was the case, why were they angry towards Uchiha, but yet the woman was so nice? Her name was Mikoto, she agreed to them. She had told him that she knew their mother. She was sweet. So you met Sasuke, huh? A good kid? Yeah, but he's a bit arrogant. But he's not as strong as me though. I can beat him at any time of the day. If he tried to get up in my face about being stronger, I'll just beat him down. Well, you are a little prodigy, said Naruto as he ruffled her hair with a smile. I guess our school schedule is not nowhere near to each other, said Mito. I didn't even see you once at school. Yeah, guess not, said Naruto. But we'll get to see each other after school. After all, we're both gonna go on together. I know, she said. But I wish we were at the same age in the same class. But I guess not. And you're gonna graduate before me and become a genin before me. Well, you just have to get stronger, said Naruto. So when your time comes you can show that you're meant to be a genin. Are you kidding, brother? I'm already at genin level, she said. I just need the experience and more training. Even Gigi said it himself. I'm a young little prodigy. I guess you're right, he says. You're over here. She pouted. Come on, I don't like that. I told you to stop it already. As Naruto chuckled a bit. Time skipped. The years seemed to fly past so quickly. As Mito gained more friends in the academy. When she became 10 years old, she had skipped class as she was worried. She was currently hanging out at the back of the academy, waiting for her brother to come out. Today was their test, to know if they were going to be genins. She had always worried about, well, her brother, given the fact that he never had chakra like her. He had something called ki. She studied about ki. It was a technique that the user used the air current around them, with ki to produce powerful shockwave, in order to strike his opponent or defend himself or counter. It can create invisible punches, powerful screams, or shockwave. Hiruzen had many books about it. Well, he was called a professor for a reason. It was said that a couple of monks had tampered with this ability in the past, but they never got too far. The monks were the only ones able to produce this ability, but that was a long time ago, and they were probably dead by now. And there was no one around to help her brother master this ki of his. But he was training by himself and getting stronger each day, and not to mention he can produce air blasts by channeling his ki outwards. So she was happy about that, but still, there were some requirements that you need to pass the academy, and she didn't want her brother to be left behind. just because he wasn't able to use chakra. She saw the door burst open and she saw many people exiting. Her class was not over yet as she hid, as she waited and looked around, as she didn't see her brother anywhere. A frown came on her face. It was then that she saw her brother's friend, Rock Lee, as he was coming out. He stopped at the door waiting as she saw her brother stepped out, as she instantly searched his body. She didn't see the headband anywhere. She was confused and she saw a headband around Lee's stomach. But how? As she didn't understand. Lee didn't have chakra either. Well, he didn't know how to use it. So how did he... As she got out of her hiding spot and marched over. Mito, said Naruto. How did he get a headband and you did not? Didn't you pass? She asked. Oh, as Naruto reached into his pouch, as he pulled out his headband, I did. She blinked in shock. You did? Come on, I thought you said you had faith in me this morning. Yes, I do, but I'm surprised. Well, if you had faith in me, you wouldn't be surprised. How did you pass? I mean, did you... Naruto placed a hand on her head. Are you skipping school again? He said. I just want to know if you pass. Well, Naruto-kun here, like myself, was able to show that hard work, always, triumph over natural talent. What do you mean? Said Mito. As Naruto scratched the side of his face, someone patted him on the shoulder. I can't believe that you sent Sensei to the hospital. As the person walked off. You did what? Said Mito. Well, Lee was the first one to fight Sensei, seeing that he failed in the other eras. But he proved Sensei wrong by using his taijutsu to show that he can go in with natural talent. I was next after that, said Naruto. And I proved him wrong. He told me that it's rare for two people that has no chakra to, well, succeed more than once. Well, I think he was just trying to rile me up so that I could show him what I'm truly capable of. So I went a bit harder than I expected. I guess he just underestimated me a bit too much. And I guess I hit him a bit too hard and now he's in the hospital, said Naruto. He was just knocked out. I think he's gonna be... Mito jumped as Naruto caught her, as she pulled him into a tight hug. I'm so happy that you passed, she said, as Naruto swung her around. Now the both of us can be shinobi, as she smiled. You really didn't think I would pass, did you? Well, I was giving you encouraging words, but... Sorry, but not really. Really? Said Naruto. Well, I thought they would have needed you to perform the other abilities to pass the test. But I'm so happy, she said. Know that you know. Go back to class, said Naruto. You think they will let me take the test if I show them what I can really do, said Mito. I mean, as Naruto poked her on the forehead. I said go back to class, he said. She sighed in annoyance. Fine, she said. Go back to class. She hugged him. Love you, big brother, she said. Love you too. As she broke apart. See you too, Lee, she said as she made her way off. Goodbye, Lady Mito, said Rock Lee, as the both of them started to walk. You're leaving, said Lee. Now, my sister class isn't out for another hour. Think I'm gonna get something to eat before returning to walk her home, said Naruto. Who do you think is gonna be your sensei, Naruto-kun? Asked Lee. I'm not too sure. What if we end up on the same team? Yeah. What if we end up on a team with Neji, said Naruto as he chuckled. That might just happen. I really hope it doesn't, said Naruto. That guy is a pain in the ass. Well, if the both of you does end up on the same team together, and if I am there, I will smooth out all the tension between you two. And eventually you two will become friends. I doubt it, said Naruto. He's too arrogant for my taste. I suppose you're right, said Lee. I have to go. I have to show Guy Sensei that I pass. As Naruto smiled, tell Guy I said hi. Will do, Naruto-kun, said Lee as he rushed off. As Naruto started to walk, Lee met Guy first. Guy had become like a sensei to them when they were not at the academy. He saw their potential because they could not use ninjutsu, and he trained them. Guy was incredible. A bit goofy, but Naruto liked it, as he was nice. As Naruto learned some more things about him from the Hokage, turns out that Guy was one of their top taijutsu specialists. As Naruto would kill to be on a team with him being Jonin Sensei, the amount of taijutsu skills that he could learn, the moves, the type of fighting styles. Not to mention Guy had this secret technique that he read about, the gates. Naruto wasn't sure if he could do it because, unlike Lee who had chakra but could not use it well, he had none at all. Instead he had ki, as Naruto crouched before rocketing off the ground, making his way towards the Hokage's tower to tell the old man that he passed. As he was feeling happy, he was feeling proud. As he made his way, hopping from rooftop to rooftops. Time skip. As Naruto had informed the Hokage, he had came back for Mito, who wanted to celebrate, as she brought him to get some ramen even though he just had some ramen. Well, he loved to eat, as Naruto devoured the ramen. As he was lying down in bed that night, there was a small tear in his eye that ran down to his face. He missed his mother and father. Even though briefly knowing them, they loved him. He knew that he was adopted. There was too many signs that he was not exactly like them. His hair, his eyes, he had nothing of them, none of their features. But despite that, they loved him unconditionally. And despite everything, Mito was his sister and he loved her with all of his heart. He had made a promise that he would protect his sister just like his mother asked. It didn't matter what happened, he would protect her as always. That is why he's trained to become the strongest that he can be. And he would protect her, he would love her, he would guide her. And he would make sure that she was happy no matter what. But he really missed his parents. He missed them a lot. Mito never got to see them because she was unable to react to anything at that point. She was just a baby. As Naruto sighed, he rolled upon himself he better get some sleep. At least he had the old man and Mito. And Lee, his best friend. As he went to get some sleep, tomorrow was going to be a rather hectic day. The next morning after arriving at school with Mito, as she went to her class, as Naruto saw someone was walking as she was walking in, it was Sasuke Uchiha. Mito placed a hand on the boy's shoulder, as Naruto was glad that Mito was there for Sasuke. Naruto knew Sasuke as well, he met him in the past few years, after what happened to his clan. As Naruto couldn't believe what he heard, that his own brother killed his own family, he didn't understand. And Sasuke was alone. Mito decided to cheer him up by being there for him, because his mother was rather nice, and they spoke to her often even though they were not allowed to go to the Uchiha clan. But it was strange. It was not him that was not allowed to go there, it was Mito. Harrison told him that it was some confidential information, some reason. He didn't know why though. The man was just refusing to tell him. Naruto-kun, as Lee patted him on the shoulder. It's finally the day, he said. I wonder who our sensei is gonna be. As the both of them made their way inside. Arrived in the class, they saw everyone else, as Naruto greeted a few others. Lee was his best friend, but he had other friends, a lot of them to be exact. Not to mention, he was a sweet kid. His hair might look goofy, but he had a rather cute face. And also, whenever he did physical exercises, he pulled off his shirt, and the girls were amazed by his muscles. Alright class, a man stepped inside. It was a Chunin. Your sensei is currently out of commission for the moment. Is he gonna be okay? Naruto said. You're him. Me? Said Naruto. Yes. You're Naruto, right? Naruto nodded as the man laughed. You're the one that knocked him out cold. Well, he's still in the hospital. But they said I couldn't visit him. He's a shame, kid. You're just a... Well, you weren't even a genin back then and you knocked him out cold. He's ashamed to even see you. Huh? Ashamed? Said Naruto. Yeah. He's really ashamed. So he's okay, right? Yes, he's gonna be fine. Just a bruised ego, the man said, as he looked rather amused by the whole thing. Well, I'm here to tell you guys that, well, you've done him proud and wonderful. Even though he was unable to make it, he was very glad that all of you were able to pass his tests. And now, Genins of Konoha, who will defend your village with everything that you got. As Naruto turned his head towards Nechi, who was not looking. Nechi did not look his way. They never got to fight. For some reason, Naruto did not know why. Now your senseis are here, given that your original sensei is not here. Your academy sensei. They were given their listing with their names on it. So just wait until you hear your name and your senseis will come and pick you up, okay? As everyone nodded. As a few senseis came in that Naruto did not recognize. It was then that guy came in the room. As Lee smiled. Yosh guy sensei, he said. Ah, Lee. Naruto-kun. As he greeted Naruto as well. Wait, are you greeting us or are you saying that we're on your team? Said Naruto. Guy brought up a thumbs up. Both, he said. And the third member is Neji Hayuka. As Naruto blinked, he turned his head. For all the people in the class, why him? But guys, be and subscribe right here. If you want the next person, do like, subscribe, comment down below, turn on that bell notification, say post, say bye, move now, see you guys soon, peace.